Hello, everyone. I'm Damon. This is my mom, Cynthia. Say hi,
Hi.
Mom. We are here to help you guys beat foreclosure. Got a lot going on this week to get you updated, so let's just go ahead and dive right in. We've got a ton of material to cover.
Yeah, I wanted to start out because we were on our last video, we were talking about the fact that we've been struggling for a year with a short sale, that we're hoping very much that we can get this particular property, to show you that we really are willing to fight for you to help you get out of a circumstance. And as of this week, we finally did, after 1 year, get all the title problems settled in court, and are going there tomorrow. So what we'll do is we'll take some videos of what the condition of that particular place is, and how and what we think would need to be done, and how we approach that kind of thing. So that's exciting, and we'll actually have some film footage for you, to look at. But the other thing I wanted to talk about was some of the new numbers that have come up. We are going to try to update you, because May historically has always been the very best month to sell a home.
Yeah, the market usually starts to get hot in May, right?
You want to get your family moved during the summertime, all set up by the time school starts in August and September. So this is an important month. But we do have some numbers, if you could bring some of those up, that are the current numbers for pre-foreclosures, people that are behind in their taxes.
I was show those other graphics first, but
let's do that.
Okay, so yeah, as we've shown you before in other videos, this is pre-selected for Orange County. That's where we are here
in California.
Just to give you an idea. So pre-foreclosures as we speak, as I plop that in, we've got 1,050 properties in our county that are in pre-foreclosure status.
And then show them how many are actually scheduled to be auctioned already, where no one's been able to sell that house. And so
63 properties.
63 of those are going to be auctioned this month. Those are the people we want you guys to call us, because we have some better ideas than losing your home and your equity. And then if you add to that people that are also behind in tax delinquency,
should jump way up.
which is what's the number?
7,318 properties are tax delinquent as we speak.
Right.
So
so what I wanted to say was, if you're thinking that you're isolated, you're alone, you're having problems, there are problems everywhere. We have never seen anything quite like this. And right now, in this country, there are 3 major banks that have failed in this last few weeks, and there may be more. And so this is why
one graphic. This is the First Republic takeover. I'm not going to read the whole thing to you, but there it is.
There's been a loss of roughly of $13 billion.
Well, that's what the insurance fund is going to suffer. It says there they agreed. JP Morgan Chase agreed to pay $10.6 billion to the FDIC to acquire First Republic Bank yesterday, making it the second largest bank failure in U.S. history. I won't read all the rest of that stuff, but yeah.
So that's impacting all kinds of things.
14th largest bank in the U.S. at the end of last year. So that's a little bit scary.
And then Warren Buffett's right-hand guy, Charlie Munger, came on the news yesterday and said, not only is there a housing situation problem, but the commercial properties that and this is why the banks are getting in trouble. Only 40% occupancy of big commercial buildings. And so those owners of those buildings have to pay the bank. They got a loan to buy the buildings, and malls, big, huge malls. They're not making the payments. So the banks are getting all of this, the bad loans back onto their books, which they really don't want. They can't handle them. And that's why today the stock market did another big dive. And this is in anticipation of, you might bring up that one other
I just pulled this one up. So this shows where the rates are today. But yeah, you're right. I mean, so it looks like the market had a sell-off for the last couple of days with First Republic news. And then we were talking about it before we were filming, that I believe the market's factoring in another rate hike by Jerome Powell tomorrow.
Right.
It's supposed to go up another 0.25 on Wednesday. So that'll bring it in between 5 to 5.25.
Yeah, maybe circle that 30-year right there.
So there it is. 30-year has gone up since our last recording to 6.73 on a 30-year fixed. 15 years at 6.12. Again, these graphics here show the way these rates have just gone up and up and up over time here. And as we discussed in the other video, it's just becoming so expensive to borrow money. And the headline there also says, mortgage rates jump after the First Republic sale. And the caption says, whether we call it a bailout, a failure, or a fire sale, First Republic Bank was formerly absorbed by JP Morgan Chase earlier this morning on Monday. So these are the number of mortgages in California, people that have 3%, 4%, 5%. 89% of people have 5% or lower, 71% are at 4% or lower. 29% of the population out there has them at 3% or lower.
3% range. And that's why those are the people that are sitting on those loans, and that's really almost as valuable as your house is, that mortgage rate.
Absolutely.
So that's one of the creative things for people that not only are looking at foreclosure, but we work with people that are trying to sell their home. Mm-hmm. We have several things that we can do. We have a wonderful option, Berkshire Hathaway, where we can come in and pay for all the restoration and the upgrading of your house, and then that doesn't come out of your pocket immediately up front until the house is in wonderful condition to sell, has a better chance of selling, and then
we talked about that at length 2 videos ago, so go back and take a look at that with that whole Pinnacle program through Berkshire. Okay, so there was one other screenshot that I wanted to show, and this was just, again, touching on the rates. We'll just look at this for a quick minute. This is the one that shows where the Fed plans on bringing the rates over these years, historically, back to 2000. Here we are at 5%. We're going to be up to 5.25 tomorrow.
We're just about
so you can see that.
there.
Look at how steep that
climb has been.
They've said, I was reading about it, they've had 10 increases in the last year. 10 straight increases.
And look at all the years that we went without any increase, that we were at zero, So that's why things are really upset. The prices at the grocery store and what have you are really hard to believe almost. So, if you want to find out anything about all the possibilities, from cash offers to having your home restored to getting your loan modified or trying to get personal loans. There's just a whole myriad of things that we are willing and trying to work with people who are in this crazy environment. It bothers me very much that there are 63 families that will get evicted from their homes. And people do come in, big people that are big investors come in with a lot of money, sometimes pay ridiculous prices for homes. And it's made the market just hard to know exactly what to do. Our number is up on the screen. We really, truly...
I still laugh every time I see this, because Mom wants me to just keep the graphic up there the whole time. That's fine. I mean, you can't really see my T-shirt as well.
Oh, that's important. It says he's a hope dealer.
Well, that's finishing up what we were talking about last week. We did that entire video on hope. So let's go ahead one more time. I'm going to pull up the browser so we can share some of those screens. Okay, so this was a really interesting report that comes up on Rocket Homes. Again, talking about Orange County. This is our market here. Your market, wherever you may be, is going to be a little bit different, but the very interesting information for last month in Orange County still continues to be a seller's market, and it's all those reasons that Mom was just talking about. With the interest rate is really the huge factor. So the people that have those low rates are going to be sitting and holding on to those homes. Why would you?
So the inventory is really low, and it's maintained some of the prices because the inventory is so low.
It says here, since last year, Orange County has remained a seller's market. Absolutely true.
And we may be having an extraordinary situation here in Southern California.
This is kind of interesting. So depending on your source, again, this is Rocket Homes. My Berkshire numbers come in a little bit higher, but the average price, according to this website, in Orange County, $972,000, almost $1 million showing here. And this is the important part, though. Increase since last year, year over year, up 3.6%. So not only are people sitting and there's less inventory, but because of that, less people are qualifying and whatnot, but the prices then are going up anyway.
Well, that's why we don't want you to just allow your home, by not exploring what your options are, to lose any equity that you have in your house, because there are some places, if your home is, and if it needs the help, we can do that without it coming immediately out of your pocket for the costs. And therefore, you maybe have some opportunities that you don't understand because you don't have all of the information. So that's one of the reasons that we hope we can work with you.
Definitely. So here, this just again shows this is price info by bedroom count and whatnot. So this is kind of like, all right, maybe this is what they're talking about. Like a 4-bedroom here is at 1.2. That's the average. And it's up. I mean,
and
4-point-something%.
So most people would say to themselves, okay, the economy is horrible. Banks are collapsing. Stock market is crashing. Home values should just be diving. And interestingly, things don't always unfold the way, you think they should.
And again, we're talking about our local area. Orange County median, the average price sold compared to other counties, 3.6%. So interestingly, I thought LA would have been higher, but LA has always been expensive anyway, so the price increase isn't that much. Interesting though, prices are higher in Orange County according to this than LA. But San Diego is the one that just skyrocketed. Those numbers the biggest jump was in San Diego County.
Well, people are moving out of big cities because the crime rate is going up. There are all kinds of things that are changing the demographics of where people want to be, where they want to work. There is still a lot of joblessness, and the homelessness is going up at a staggering rate. So we're going to have to see a lot of changes in our society to, what are we going to do with all these empty commercial buildings, and how are we going to get people in homes that they can afford? These are some things that will become things that we have to solve.
You touched on it earlier with that report about the commercial space. They're going to have a big problem in the next year or two. I mean, the occupancy rates in those commercial buildings are at a fraction. It's like at 30-40%, something like that.
Right.
So what are they going to do? You touched on it, when they have to refi those loans and whatnot.
This year, there are, I think, 1/4 of those loans. There are 5 buildings in Los Angeles that are filing bankruptcy at this point. And by 2025, all of the loans for those massive commercial buildings will all have to be refinanced. So even it's causing rents to change. So you really want to talk to someone who's going to give you some ammunition to get you through this very turbulent time in our society.
So these are kind of cool numbers. This is just backing up again what we're saying. This is showing month over month here from March through April. Inventory continues to decrease, down 4.1% March to April this year. Less and less inventory on the market, people sitting, not wanting to make that move. So it is sort of pushing the pricing up. Supply and demand, right?
Right.
So again, this is, more sales stuff, but this is interesting here. Overall numbers, that backs up the other one. 1,717, dropping 150 some odd units month to month, down 9.6%. Asking versus sold, that's kind of a wash.
But if you're in a situation where you're in pre-foreclosure and you need to sell, that's why you need to get your home showing wonderfully.
And again, we're talking about our market here, and this could be nationwide. Every market, every state's different. This is what's astounding right here. Average sale time. This market is hot. It was so hot a year ago. The average time on market
under 2 weeks.
12 days. people were getting 20 to 50 bids on a house, offers on a house. We're starting to see that again. So it's now gone up to 31 days year over year, which is an increase, but still, we were talking about this as well. Any market that sells a house under 45 days is
wonderful.
A hot market.
Right.
So this is extremely hot, if that's accurate, at 31 days, according to Rocket Homes.
Well, I was going to talk about the fact that your sister is also a realtor, and she said her last listing, which was like within this last month, she had like 12 bids on that. So I don't want anybody to think that their house can't sell. We can fix it, get it on the market. Even if you're behind in your taxes with the market doing what it's doing, which is very strange, you might be able to pay your back taxes and get some equity out and come up with some creative things. This is something that's just kind of personal. We want you guys to get to know us. We also want to get to know you. I live in a place called Floral Park.
Let me touch on one other thing. We'll get into that in 1 second.
All right.
But just another graphic for them to see. We just wanted to give you guys a shout out and a thank you. How quickly our page is growing and expanding, and we're just having an overwhelming amount of support. This number here, thank you guys.
For the subscriptions?
3,300 and some odd people have already subscribed to our channel, right, with our first 10 videos. So we're getting incredible feedback, incredible viewing time. These videos are making a difference. So that encourages us, definitely.
Yes. Yes.
So yeah, I'm sorry. So back to what you're talking about. Yeah. So we wanted to switch gears a little bit and talk about, so we're not just always going to be talking about pre-foreclosure stuff, as Mom was alluding to earlier. I'm a realtor. My sister's a realtor. Mom's a designer. We're all collaborating together.
Right.
And so we kind of wanted to talk about this neighborhood where Mom currently lives. It's an unbelievable community.
Yes, it's called Floral Park. And once a year, the only time we didn't do this in the last 30 years, we have an open house in the neighborhood where this year they had 7 homes open and that you can tour. We have kiosks. 4,000 people come into this little neighborhood. It's only like a 5-block square, and it's just amazing because you see this is a neighborhood like they used to have a neighborhood where it wasn't just a tract house. Every house is different, all kinds of different style.
600 vintage homes. Most of which were built in the 1920s through the 50s, it says here on the website.
Right.
This is the point that I know you're going to touch on. This is a big deal.
Right.
We just recently
were granted, my house is on the historical registry, but now our whole neighborhood as of this year has been granted that it is on the historic registration, so it's a fun weekend. And so I asked my daughter what she would like for her birthday, and she said that she wanted to have a luncheon for just ladies in the backyard, in my backyard. So I was able to make some crepes and do some fun things, and had all of her friends come over. And
let me see if I can show.
Well, this is the old neighborhood.
That's the old. This is just on the website, but I loaded their Instagram. They were promoting it. Historic Floral Park is the page there. So this is sitting at one of the entrances to come in. This, I guess, was the 30th anniversary year.
It was, yes. And the only time that we didn't have this event, which is the last full weekend in April every year, was during COVID for a couple of years, because no one wanted to open up their home and have people traipsing through, which makes sense. But it is a fundraiser for our neighborhood. We have Children's Hospital, CHOC, in Orange County, which is like maybe less than a mile from here. And so all of the proceeds either go to scholarships for college for local children, or it goes to dedicate to the aid for children at Children's Hospital. So it was a very fun weekend, And so this is the way a neighborhood should be.
Well, this is like an example. This is also coming off of their Instagram. I just pulled a couple of pics, and then when I introduced everyone to Stephanie a couple of weeks ago, you know, I was telling her, we were laughing about it because we were saying, oh, she's camera shy or whatever. But well, maybe one of these days we'll get her.
We'll
on
get her on a picture here.
She happens to take some really cool photos.
She loves
this one. I think she actually snapped a picture very similar to this. This was a yard, the garden that they opened up. So what I'm going to do, and I have Stephanie's permission to go onto her page because I want to make sure she was okay with that before we blast her on YouTube, on the internet. So anyway, these were the pics.
Oh, that's true. These have classic cars on display.
Yeah, and so my dad and brother also came down to see the car show. You know, it's a big deal for them. Yeah, just some really cool classic cars.
See, to me, I guess maybe one of the reasons that I'm so interested in helping people that are going to maybe lose their home is I remember growing up in a neighborhood where this is what it felt like. You know your neighbors, everybody helps you. The lady across the street was born in that house. She takes pictures of the license plate of anybody who ever parks in front of my house.
Sure.
So it's safe. And we need so much in America to get back to safety, community, kindness, loving, sharing, doing things that are positive and wonderful, and not having shootings and robberies and all of those things. It's going to stop. It absolutely. And it'll do that by everybody informing one another, trusting one another, moving forward, because that's what we're destined to do. We weren't put here on this earth to have a miserable, hateful time. We are here to be appreciative and grateful for everything that we've been given, and to share that with others, and to help others, and to be truthful and kind.
So here's another backyard. I actually didn't make it onto the tour this year since I was up in LA, but this is one of Steph's shots that she snapped in one of the backyards. Pretty cool. Nice pool and everything. Nice privacy there. The Floral Park community is very openly accepting of the gay community. There's a huge gay
happens to be
LGBT,
which is why all the gardens are wonderful. We have a garden club, a book club, just
there was a joke. There was
club.
A joke a while ago that it used to be all divorcees and gay people that live in the neighborhood.
Right. A lot of interesting, fun, different, unique human beings. With a lot of these cars are cars that people have in their garages that are collector's items. But I think the thing I'm trying to get across is that there's great diversity
absolutely
in this neighborhood, age-wise, in terms of education, background, travel, interests, and it all comes together on this one weekend. There are kiosks where people sell antiques, and place comes and brings animals from the shelter that they're trying to get, have people take them. It's just one of those things where I guess I'm excited and encouraged, because it's where everybody works together so that everyone has a great time and you get to know your neighbors.
Well, when we pulled up to this, the owner they were kind of clearing out some of the cars, and I was joking with him on this one. I said, "Where's your martini holder for this? You should be having, like James Bond style, having a cocktail with that thing." Convertible. So I'm glad Steph got that one. Let's see what else she has. Oh, just another cool backyard. That's kind of cool. Wow. And I mean, every house, that's the other thing. Every house is so unique here in this neighborhood.
And that's one of the other points we're trying to make. My design company that I've had for years is called Uniquely Yours.
See, there's that same backyard shot.
And that's what your home is and your life is. So we'd like to be able to share with what you need to help you get to a point where you're okay and your family's safe. So give us a call.
This was just another backyard here. Kind of interesting. This is like a little stove, it's an outdoor fire pit. That's kind of
barbecue,
cool.
Whatever.
Roast,
that's a pot
hanging there. You could roast something, huh?
Soup or something in the wintertime. Sure.
That's interesting. Let's see what else. Oh, Steph loves flowers, and well, it's called Floral Park for a reason.
Yes.
What are those? Those are like
peonies.
Peonies.
I
Wow,
think.
those are nice. Very pretty. And here's just the inside of another house. I'm gonna just kind of go through these. We've got about a minute and a half left on our timer.
Well, that's the other thing that it just reinforces as you go through these homes, the colors, the styles. There's everything from Art Deco to Italiante to Spanish, and
that's sweet looking.
Colonial, and yes.
Okay, so that's the end of Steph's, but I had one more, about a minute left, that I wanted, if I can get it to fit here. This was your party. You through.
That's my luncheon.
Give a shout out to all the ladies. Us guys were not included in this.
No testosterone. No, this was all a ladies' luncheon, and what fun.
So what a nice group here. Here's Sister Steph.
Yep.
The birthday girl. I won't mention how old she would turn on.
And that's
Saturday.
I made that cake with the candles on it by myself. It was my father's favorite cake, nice. Angel food cake with marshmallow icing. So.
Okay, I'm going to stop the share. We've got about 30 seconds left. Anyway, another fun update this week, guys and gals.
Yes.
Give us a buzz. You know the routine by now if you haven't subscribed already. Smash that like and subscribe button. I would hope you'd be connected. We've got about 15 seconds.
Let's Zoom.
Let's Zoom. Hit the Zoom button. Give us a call. Shoot us a text. Give us shoot an email, and we will talk to you.
Even just to say hi. That's okay too.
We will talk to you guys next week.
See you next week. We're going to show you that place that we're going to start working on, hopefully.
Yeah, we're running out of time this week, but yeah, we'll see you guys in a week.
See you next week. Bye-bye.
It's been fun.